Just excited to get on the court and not have to guard each other. So I know they're really excited, as well as myself and our coaching staff. So Tim does a great job with his team. They go on the road every year and play some really good games. So they'll be well prepared, and they'll be ready to play us. And we have our hands full, but it's the start of the season, and we want our excitement and aggressiveness to really take hold at 7 o'clock tomorrow.
I know they're psyched and amped about getting the season going and everything like that, but how do you balance them being excited for the first game of the year, but be too excited and too amped?
Well, number one, we have to talk about it all the time. Make sure our guys are aware of their approach every day, but on game day, our approach has to take the same. Our approach has to be the same every day in what we do. Prepare, play really hard, play together, and follow the plan. We talk about always following the plan in everything we do around here, and it's no different on game day. Let's follow the plan and play really hard and play for each other, and that gives you a great chance to be successful.
Coach, what do you feel is the biggest thing you learned about your team during the preseason?
Well, we have another gear. I think that we saw this off season, as well as going into preseason, that there's a lot more. Our guys are giving a lot more. They have a lot more. I think some of them were surprised that they have more in them, and that's very, very important. And I think our guys working together and working so hard as we did this off season, that they're working for each other even more. I think that's really important. When you grind with your teammates and you work really hard with your teammates, they become your brothers, and I think that was a big step for us this offseason and this preseason. I made preseason really hard for our guys this year, long and hard, and so we're prepared for the season, but that they went through it together. Because if you go through anything that's really hard together, it means more, and I hope that really carries over to game time.
Tomorrow, do you have maybe a list of specific game goals for just kind of coming out of the gate, what you want to see tomorrow night?
Well, we want to have great second effort plays where maybe you don't get the ball the first time off the rim, but you keep trying, keep it alive. There's a ball you're running down, you maybe don't get it, but you keep it alive for your teammate. So we want to have great second effort plays, and we want to have a lot of them. On the offensive end, no live turnovers. Don't give the other team the ball and go down and score without defense. I think that's really important. And the offensive end the defensive end, just playing so darn hard. Nobody's saving themselves. We have depth this year. We have guys that can pick each other up, so we got to use that to our advantage. And then we want to have a lot of deflections, and then on the offensive end, we want to have a lot of paint touches and play off of that.
And offensively, as we know, you guys can score, but you're replacing Justin Tillman's points, 18.9 a game. So, have you talked to the guys about just what you need to see for them just as far as stepping up and kind of replacing some of his scoring?
Well, I think we could score maybe a couple different ways, different guys. I think some guys off the bench could score the ball for us. The guys around the rim, Marcus Santos and Mike Gilmore and Corey Douglas and Sean Mobley, those guys can score as committee because they're all talented. They'll score different ways, and of course Justin did last year. But I think those guys can find ways to get on the rim and score and be a threat around the rim. I think we'll still have be an interior threat, but just do it in different ways. I think the offensive side of the ball, if we share the ball, we play really aggressive with it, attacking people. I think with multiple guys that can shoot and score it, that will really help us.
As you get ready for the season opener, how close is this team to what you envision this group to be?
Well, I don't know if a coach is ever satisfied to that vision, and your vision's always changing, but I know we can play faster and we can play more aggressive. I think the depth has a lot to do with that, and guys are a year older. But you got to carry it over to game time, and that's the biggest thing that we talk about all the time. We're getting closer to how I want our guys to play, but I'm not sure we'll ever get there as that's coach speak. But we're getting closer without a doubt. I think the pace of play, and it still comes down to being able to will your style of play onto the opponent, and we got to continue to do that. We have such a great schedule this year and some really tough opponents right out of the gate. If we can learn to do that early in the year, we're only going to get better at it.
You've been doing this a long time. Is there ever a point in the season where you realize this is who we are, or identity gets established? part? Do you never know?
Well, I think you can really improve throughout the season, and as I like to say, because it happened to me as a player, and I've seen many players that sometimes, certain times of your career, the switch goes off, and you just learn to make the game slow down for you, or you don't fight the game so much. So I think everybody throughout their career, at some point in their career, they have that moment where the game becomes a little bit easier, or they understand what the coach wants them to do. So as a coach, you just keep really working with guys and talking with guys and pushing guys to sometime in their career that's going to happen. If it happens sooner in their career, then you become that kid becomes really good. But that's big to me, because I remember when that happened to me, that made me see the game better and become more coachable. And it's not about how I feel, it's not about me, it's about the team. And then in the end, you get what you want out of it as an individual player. You become successful, you get better, and you impact winning. So we're always going to push for that. But I do see that, and throughout, when different seasons, you see that throughout the year. The team starts clicking, and they know who they are. They have an identity. When you don't, you don't see that right away. You keep pushing for it, and you hope a big win or a couple moments in a game that stuff comes through, and the guys realize, hey, that's who we are, and that's pretty darn good.
Coach, talk a little bit about Marcus Evans as a player, as a person. He's played for you obviously before.
Yeah, he's very close to playing here. He's had some really good days of practice. It's probably more, day-to-day questionable type of status for him. A competitive young man, wants to win at all costs, brings a great edge to our team with his competitiveness and the way he competes every day. Talented player. I mean, he with the ball in his hands, he can make plays for he and his teammates. Somewhat of a dynamic guard, which in our conference and with our schedule, we need that for sure. But I also know Marcus for a long time now. He wants to win. I think his greatest strength is his eagerness and his aggressiveness to try to win the game and help his team win. I think that's really important, and that edge around here does very well, and we definitely need that from him.
Mentioning the offensive scoring again, again, talk about the guys that can score inside, and of course, obviously, we want the guys to have a green light to shoot the ball as well. Is there a right balance as far as playing inside out?
Yeah, that's the balance. We want to play inside out all the time, but our guys know they have the green light to knock down open threes, take good shots. We have so many. I think we have multiple guys that can make shots. We have multiple guys that can make plays, which we didn't always have last year. So I think that helps. That makes us harder to guard. But we also got to make sure that where you use is what we're using as well as balance. We got to have great balance of attacking the rim, throwing it in there to attack the rim, play inside, outside as much as we can, but also guys that know that they can be really aggressive in transition and even in half court of making plays. I don't want us to ever lose that. I think a team that has multiple guys that are very aggressive and share the basketball, that balance there is hard to guard, and we want to make sure we have that all the time. We could throw it into Marcus Santos Silva, and he could score one-on-one in the post. Corey could as well. Of course, we all know Michael Gilmore can score around the rim, but he also can step out and shoot threes. Sean Mobley can shoot threes. So that gives us multiple talented guys. I like that about our big guys, but they also can go in there and do some dirty work too, which I think is important. As for our perimeter guys, we have some guys that can shoot it, but we also have guys that can drive it and finish around the rim. So we want to play fast to create more opportunities for those guys to have their chances to be most aggressive.
Is clicking as a team or individual a matter of repetition, a matter of experience, a matter of one guy clicking and suddenly carrying everybody?
I think it's a combination of both. A combination of a couple things. I think timing, guys just maturing at the right time. You have a couple, multiple guys figuring it out. I think you got to have some success, because when that clicking occurs, that becomes consistent and constant. So you got to have some success. Some things got to go our way, or guys going to just become more confident because things are working for them. And then I think it's it's a combination of wanting to win and doing what it takes to win. I think teams click when a group of guys on that team, put personal agendas aside and just say, all right, here's what we're going to do. I'm that guy. This is my role. We need to do this. All right, I'm doing this because it's going to help the team win. I'm the point guard that's going to make sure we run the show and we get things done late in the game. I'm the big guy that's saying, you know what, I'm getting every rebound late in the game. I'm going to do what coach needs me to do so we win. I think that clicking occurs when you have a couple things happen, but I also I really think when guys just sort of put that personal agenda down and say, I'm going to do whatever they want me to do.
Everybody wants to win. It's not easy to win. So is doing the things you need to do to win, is that physical? Is it mental?
I think 80% of it is mental, and the other 20% is very physical. But 80% of it is how you look at life, how you look at the game, how you look at your role, how you look at how you're playing. You have an honest assessment of what you can really do and who you really are and how you can really impact winning. That's hard for an 18 to 22-year-old to have honest self-talk. But when the guys do have that, and they accept it, and they say, well, this is who I am right now, and I'm going to make the best of this situation to help my team win and for me to be successful. Those guys, they're winning people and players, and their teammates and their coaches know that they're all in. And I think that's pretty special. And nowadays where, after a game you could grab your phone and the world is telling you if you played great or you played bad, or somebody's saying that, you didn't get a fair shot today or tonight. That's tough for young people to understand all of that. And but if you're that guy that you have self-awareness and you say that stuff does not matter, the noise doesn't matter, all that matters is that I'm helping my team win at the best ability that I have, those guys turn into good players. And I use examples to our guys. And Travian Graham's role as a freshman was so much different than it was when he was a junior and senior. But he's like, is that what I need to do? All right, I'll do that because that's going to help us win. And then he was still working to become the player he wanted to be. Troy Daniels didn't play much his first 2 years. He just didn't play because he wasn't ready to play. But instead of him reading or listening to people that didn't know, he just said, what I need to do. And he was in the gym over and over and over again. And he is where he's at because he went through that experience and had great self-awareness about, okay, that's where I'm at. I'm going to make the best of it, but I'm still going to work on getting better because this is where I want to go. I think that's really important, all that stuff. And that awareness turns into clicking, the team clicking, because guys are doing their job.
It's hard to filter out the noise.
Oh, it's the hardest thing there is because, back in the day, the noise might have been one or two people. Now the noise is thousands of tweets or Instagram or whatever, all that stuff, and you read it and you read it. It takes a special person and a strong-willed person to say that stuff doesn't matter, and I'm not looking at that or I'm believing that. I'm going to believe the adults that are all in with me no matter what, and that's really hard. But I think special people can do that. Special players can do that, and I think that's huge.
Do you talk to you guys about social media during the season? I mean, do you have a rule about not to get on it or not?
We don't have a rule because I think if you have a rule, that could create a problem. To me is just like anything in life. Moderation and balance is the best thing we could teach our guys through basketball for the real world, and to talk about what's really important in life and what isn't. And we talk about it as we always talk about your faith and your family and your education. Those things are got to always be there. in your daily lives, and then the people around you, and in your passions and dreams, which to many of these guys is basketball. That's your focus got to be on that stuff and making good decisions. And why would you allow anything in your life that could mess up your thinking on those things? And social media can do that, and all that noise. And you got to balance it. You got to balance it, and you got to push it away when it needs to be pushed away. I think that's really important. Hey, I'm dealing with that with a 14-year-old son right now. It is the way of the world, but you got to let them experience it, because they won't know, and then someday it's going to take over. And we want our guys to be able to balance it and see it and think for themselves and understand it. And there was one thing I talk about all the time is, if there's things in your life that are slowing you down to get where you want with your dreams and passions, then you got to make a decision. Are those things that important to you? And let's push that noise away and those blockades away. Let's get them away. And if we can do that, then that's how you take off.
When Marcus is back and he's in the game, what ways can he change the dynamic of the offense, just with the way he can score?
Yeah, well, another guy that can get into the defense and make plays. He could, he's pretty good finishing around big guys, but he's also good at getting guys shots. He can get downhill. He's good in transition, but he could shoot the ball. He can make shots. So it's another guy. When you have a point guard out there like PJ too, like guys can make shots. That's another shooter out there. So teams, when they can't lay off a point guard, or they have to rotate to the point guard if there's a breakdown, because those guys can make threes. And I think it's just another offensive threat we have out there. But he also, he can guard the ball in the press. He's very good at anticipating getting steals, and his toughness will help. So he's got a ways to go, because he hasn't played for a while. It's just how it goes. But it's not going to take him long with his competitiveness and getting into it. So I'm excited that he's going to give us a lift, because the guys just want him out there as bad as he wants to be out there. But he still has, he's got to get in the flow and the rhythm of everything as well.
And with PJ in the league right now at the point, he's played almost equal minutes against UVA Wise. Is that the way you expect to kind of continue to do?
Yeah, we'll see. Of course, it's how the game goes. Malik gives us some steadiness out there, being a junior, and he's done a great job handling the basketball, using his strength and size. So much better from a year ago. So and having that extra shooter out there sure helps. He's really solid on defense, because he knows our game plan. PJ's your typical freshman point guard. Everybody can see his ability and what he's capable of. He just got to become more consistent. But every freshman college point guard is going to be in that position here in November. But what I like about PJ is his speed and getting guys shots and making plays. He can do that. He's got to do a good job on the defensive end of being in the right position all the time without fouling. And if he can do that, they're going to both play a lot, without a doubt. And we can also still, if PJ's playing well, we could move Malik to the 2 spot, which is his natural position, which would be great for him as well.
On Friday, you guys unveiled the alumni board at the VEC.
Yeah.
What do you kind of hope that the V is, as far as guys getting a chance to come back and sign that and maybe interact with the current team?
Yeah, it's very important to me, and everywhere I've been, in special place being here at VCU, to honor those that came before you, coaches, players, people that are so important in the success and building the foundation of VCU basketball. And I just want them to have a place where their name is in our building. So every day our guys walk in the building to work out, to practice, to get better, they see that there's been a lot of other guys that have done it too. And I want our alumni, when they come back on campus, they come back, they're going to sign their name on that board. It's always going to be there, and they feel it, that when they come back, hey, these, VCU's, they're honoring my teammates and I, and my name is part of this. I think that's really important. And when we're all gone to another place, I think it's important to continue to honor people all the time. We did it at Randolph-Macon, we started it at Rice, and we sure are going to do it here at VCU, because this place wasn't made by the guys in the program. It was made by the players that were here before them. And our job and our honor is to keep this thing going and try to move it forward like you always do every year. But we want to honor those people all the time. I think it's important.
It'll be one of those things, I guess, when as guys, alumni are in town, you just kind of out there coming.
Yeah, we want anytime guys are back, we want them to come over there and sign the wood, as I said, and you know, we want to fill it up with a lot of names of guys that sweated here and had tough losses here, great victories here, cut down nets here, became the first graduates in their family, showed their families how to do it on and off the court, and I want them to be great examples for all our players and our future players, without a doubt. So yeah, we're going to make sure every time they're on campus that they come back and sign it.
Anything else, guys?
All right, guys.